Get off my TV. The very hashtag that has slain a 7-foot giant. The very hashtag that has sent a demon directly back to hell. And the very hashtag that has sent a beast into starvation. Now available as an official wrestling podcast partner of barbershopwindow.com. Get Off My TV, Off The Script presents to you version 3, featuring the Goon of Goons. Get Off My TV will now be the official hashtag that crumbles an entire empire. For $19.99, you can wear this beauty in pride. Barbershopwindow.com. Link is down below in the description. An official partner for Off the Script. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, episode 119, part number 4 for your Monday, Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th, 2016. Thank you guys so much for all your support all weekend, man. Off the Script was absolutely on fire, and I want to thank each and every one of you who came out to yesterday's video and supported my rant. I needed to let it out there, man. The story of the old blue-haired goon. And I didn't run into her today at work, thank fucking Christ. You know why? Because she got a direct trip, round trip, to Goon City. She went, and then she came, and I never heard from her again, man. Fuck that bitch. So thank you guys so much for coming to my support, when I had to rant, and I wanted to let that out, man. So thank you guys so much for that. Also, I want to thank Horse60, man. On a more serious note, Horse60, he provided Off the Script this weekend with 3 videos in remembrance of the fallen soldiers who have served this country to let us celebrate Memorial Day. It was because of them. And Horse60 was gracious enough, and he took the time out of his own day and schedule to make those videos for you guys to be included in this weekend's Off the Script. So thank you to Horse60, man. Continue to support him. Continue to follow him on Twitter. Continue to subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's the least you can do to show your support and show your appreciation for him doing that for us right here on Off the Script. Thanks so much, man. As always, I always appreciate everything that you fucking do for me and the channel, man. So good shit, and I hope you're having a great Memorial Day. Anyway, guys, we got a lot of news, man. I'm going to try and fit this all into one video. You know, I could go on for a fucking part 5. There's so much fucking news, but we're going to try and blow through this. Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Barbershop Window, official partner for now, Off the Script merchandise, man. So if you guys want to go get your Off the Script merchandise, we have a new home. We're an official partner of Barbershop Window. My direct link to my online shop is linked down below. Get your new Roman Reigns version 3 Get Off My TV t-shirt, man. Thank you to all who have ordered so far. Continue it going. Thank you all so very much. And as always, the Patreon account, if you guys want to continue to support the Patreon account, if you want to pledge monthly to my cause, pledge monthly to my channel, that is patreon.com/JD from NY206. Man, thank you so much to everybody that has pledged this weekend. You will not go unnoticed. I will definitely be doing something for each and every one of you on next week's Off the Script, man. So make sure you tune into that as well. So let's get into the news, guys. There's a lot of shit. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's talk about the reason why the WWE is bringing back the brand split for the WWE. SmackDown and Raw. The hot topic over the next 2 months will be the brand split that is occurring in WWE right now. There are just so many angles to figure out that many are. It's curious why, or many are wanting to know why it's curious why the WWE is doing this in the first place. Although there are several ways the brand split will positively affect the WWE universe, and also, without question, negatively impact the WWE universe. The real reason, though, why the WWE is bringing back the entire brand split and the draft is because of ratings. WWE is making these major changes, primary now, to increase WWE television ratings. In particular, WWE wants to bring up SmackDown television ratings because of its time spot on the USA Network, and the powers that be feel that the show going live on Tuesdays will make a huge difference. The hope is that instead of using DVR or reading spoilers online, more of the WWE Universe will actually watch SmackDown every week, especially if there are distinct rosters for each brand. Most WWE fans are going to be for the idea of making SmackDown relevant, but it's going to be an additional 2 hours of programming each week. If you're a full WWE fan and you watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, that's 6 hours of programming to watch every single week, which doesn't include a pay-per-view or any extra WWE Network specials that they want to release during the week. That is a lot to ask of casual fans. So this really is bizarre that WWE now is doing all of this for ratings. You know, it was once upon a time where Vince McMahon outwardly said during an investor meeting, and this was picked up by every known dirt sheet that there is on the internet, Vince McMahon clearly said that he's not worried about ratings. Ratings do not mean shit. Those were his exact words. He didn't add shit at the end, but he said that WWE ratings and the ratings for Raw do not mean anything modern day, which is a complete farce. Yes, ratings are always going to be important because USA and NBC Universal, who owns USA, will always look at the ratings. That is how they gauge if Monday Night Raw is doing what it should be doing on their networks. Obviously, with the way things are going nowadays with DVRs and you can watch fucking everything you need to on WWE's YouTube page without all the fucking commercials, right? And the spoilers, you can watch what you want. They upload the 6, 7, 8 minute fucking segment right on YouTube.com. You can always go that route. WWE is always posting shit on their Twitter. Minute and a half long. You can watch a segment right on Twitter and follow their Twitter account. You know, so WWE is really, really heavy into the social media. So they are making it more easier than ever for fans who don't want to watch Monday Night Raw or who are not watching Monday Night Raw to catch up on the show, and you're giving them reasons not to go back and actually watch the whole fucking show, even if you do DVR it. So WWE doing this for ratings, yes, obviously it's for the ratings. Yes, it's obviously going to gauge interest from the fucking casual fan and everybody interested to see where WWE is going to go with this. Whether they're going to really, really make a positive impact or if they're going to completely fuck up their entire company with the brand split. People and all eyes are going to be watching every single move they make up until July 18th. Every single fucking move. Now, I understand as far as SmackDown going live, I do fully agree SmackDown should have been live from the very beginning. It should have been live since they moved to the USA Network. I don't know why they didn't do it, but they continued on with the same stale fucking product when they moved to the USA Network. And they even switched from Friday to Thursday. So they made a lot of switches, but they didn't switch and they didn't change what needed to be changed. The overall presentation of the show and the aspect that it's still taped. Now, I agree, if SmackDown is going live, it's going to really force you to watch the show. Okay, if you want to know what's happening live, okay, you're going to watch the show. You're going to make a deal. You're going to make something happen to the point where you take off work, you switch your schedule, you fucking cancel plans on a Tuesday night to watch SmackDown. Especially those first few weeks because you know it's going to be big, okay? I understand that completely. When it's taped, you don't have the urge to watch it because the spoilers are fucking revealed on Tuesday. I'm on the dirt sheets all day long. You happen to see it. You scroll through the fucking results. You see nothing of interest happened. You see nothing of importance happened. Why would you go out and watch the fucking show when you know for a fact what WWE does? You know, it looks decent on paper, and then when you watch it, it's fucking boring. They're piping in fucking sounds for a dead audience. They're fucking manipulating Roman Reigns and the fans that fucking want to boo him. They're adding cheers. They're making it a completely unwatchable program when it's taped. You're not going to be doing that live. You're not going to be doing that live. So that's also another aspect. When it's taped, I never had the urge to go and watch SmackDown on a Thursday night. Never. Absolutely, positively never had the urge to watch SmackDown. Now that it's live, I will not miss one SmackDown because it's definitely going to be something that transitions from Monday on into Tuesday, and then we got NXT on Wednesday, man. That's a prime spot for WWE fans. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you got a pay-per-view on Sunday. I can deal with the 6 hours. I'm not really going to be up in arms about the 6 hours. Yes, Raw needs to be 2 hours. It needs to be 2, 2, and 1. 5 hours is the way to go, but I'm not going to bitch and moan because you guys know that's a tired fucking subject. Raw should definitely be 2 hours. But everybody, I do believe, is going to make more of an effort to watch SmackDown now, especially with the draft. Because not only is it live, you're not going to be seeing some of your favorite superstars on Monday Night Raw, and you're only going to be able to see them on SmackDown. What if you guys are huge fans of Kevin Owens and he gets drafted to SmackDown and you don't see him on Monday Night Raw? What if you guys are huge fans of Sami Zayn and he gets drafted to SmackDown? You're not going to see him on Monday Night Raw. What about all you AJ Styles fans? What if he gets drafted to SmackDown? You're not going to see him on Monday Night Raw ever again. So, I don't know. I like this move. There's certainly positive aspects of the brand split and the draft. But the two biggest things that we talked about all weekend was how is WWE going to manage 3 hours of Raw with a half a roster from now compared to now, and what are they going to do with NXT? How is WWE going to replenish NXT after the draft? Because you know several names that are ready to be called up, they're going to be drafted, and they're going to be called up to the main roster. This is an inevitability. So, yes, it's for the ratings. Vince McMahon is full of shit. Ratings don't mean shit. Obviously, they do if you're doing it for the ratings. WWE wants to look good in the process. They want to generate interest. So this is why they're bringing back the brand split. I think everybody, including me, and including you and everybody listening to me that happens to watch this, you're going to make more of an effort to watch SmackDown. That is the one positive here, okay? DVRs, Hulu, they upload the fucking show to Hulu. There's a lot of different things that are going to factor into WWE not achieving a higher rating than they expect. It's the age now in which cable television is pretty much dead. You can log into a fucking app and watch whatever you want. You can log into the AMC app and watch The Walking Dead whenever the fuck you want. You can subscribe to Hulu and watch WWE content on there. The WWE Network has Monday Night Raws that they upload from, I think, 2-3 months ago. You can watch on there. So there are other avenues in which you can watch WWE. You don't necessarily have to watch when it's live. And the fact that we live in a day and age where we have so much fucking technology at the tip of our fingertips, WWE's never going to achieve the ratings that they want. They're never going to see the ratings that we seen back in the day, man, when it was nearing fucking 7.9, 8.0 ratings. You're not going to see that shit. WWE's always going to be teetering on a 2.5, in between a 2.5 and a 3. That's decent for WWE. That's the way it's been. If I get anything over a 3.0 rating, I'm fucking throwing a parade in WWE in Stamford. But everything that we talked about, our concerns, our optimism, our pessimism, it's all going to be revealed. It's all going to be revealed about the brand split. There are some positives, there are some negatives, and it's going to be interesting to see, man. And Vince McMahon is doing something that he needs to do here. He wants to generate interest, and this is certainly getting a lot of people talking. The brand split, why are they bringing it back? It's been revealed. WWE and Vince McMahon want to generate better ratings, not only for SmackDown, but for the overall product of WWE. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that. Story you guys have pretty much tweeted me all weekend long. Vince McMahon wants to turn Dana Brooke into the female Roman Reigns. This weekend it was reported that Dana Brooke's push was going to continue and she would be getting a huge push for the foreseeable future. Currently she's aligned with WWE Women's Champion Charlotte in a duo, but it's being said that the duo will not last very long because Vince McMahon has bigger plans for Dana Brooke. According to WrestlingEdge.com, WWE officials and Vince McMahon see Dana Brooke as a major star for the future of the company. The current long-term plans for Brooke are to get over with Charlotte, but then they'll split when the time is right to create a big program that will establish Dana as a major player in the women's division. Brooke versus Charlotte may or may not be for the Women's Championship, but the plan is for that feud to be huge and a huge launching pad for Dana Brooke. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer is saying that Vince McMahon is planning to turn her into the female Roman Reigns. On paper, this is a compliment and means that she's going to be at the top of the WWE for very long. Dana is being pushed into a big role very quickly, so she's going to need to up her game. If she does, she'll have everything she ever wanted out of this business. I don't know how I feel about this, man. I'm in no way going to say that Dana Brooke is not ready, but it's definitely too soon. It's definitely too soon to be talking about making her into the female Roman Reigns. I mean, what does that really mean? I mean, is she going to be given a fucking rocket pack and she's going to be thrusted to the fucking moon? What does this mean? She's going to be running through every diva on the roster or every woman on the roster? I don't believe I'm still saying the fucking term diva. Jesus Christ, JD, you're a fucking goon, and you can join Mrs. Blue Hair on the fucking bus to Goon City. Jesus Christ, I apologize for that. Dana Brooke into the female Roman Reigns, man, way too soon. You know, Dana Brooke, she's been out for a while, you know, and this is way too early to be talking about any type of push, man. You got to get her comfortable on the main roster. You got to get her game upped on the main roster. She's still very green. I would not put her in a match with a Charlotte or a Sasha or a Bayley and expect a fucking 5-star match, man. That should be the measuring stick. You start her off slow, months and months and months of seasoning, and you watch her progress, and you guide her, and you give her the fucking tools she needs to get better. Thrusting someone into the main event spot and thrusting someone into a role in which she's going to be labeled the female Roman Reigns is not going to be good because you're setting her up for failure. It's okay to be a fan of Dana Brooke. It's okay to be an advocate of Dana Brooke. But you don't want to push her too soon because people are not going to jump on her bandwagon. People are not going to want to be a part of her success. And people are just going to pretty much tune out and not give a shit about anything she does, man. And she's going to get the reaction that Roman Reigns gets. Undeserving, not qualified, and she doesn't belong where she is. And you don't want that to happen. You really don't want that to happen. I apologize for the cuts in the commentary. Usually I record straight, but my fucking cat and this door here, this door that opens, my cat's litter box is in there, and she's fucking creeping around. She's creeping around, and she's looking at me as if she's gonna fucking piss and shit all over my fucking bedroom floor. And I don't want that, so she's looking at me, she's fucking meowing, and I'm trying to fucking finish this commentary and this fucking podcast, and I can't do it, and I have to cut it up because one minute I get up and I fucking prevent her from pissing all over my fucking wall. And then the next cut, I gotta fucking prevent her from fucking meowing and fucking making me scream my fucking head off. So I apologize for the cuts. I'm trying to get this through. I'm trying to get through this the best that I can. But those are my thoughts on Dana White. Unprofessional, but listen, shit happens, alright? Unprofessional it is to fucking cut my commentaries up, man. I don't like that at all, but it is what it is. And I'm trying to get through this the best that I can. So that's my opinion on Dana Brooke. So, you know, female Roman Reigns, definitely way too soon for that. Kevin Owens is the favorite to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Money in the Bank briefcase is generally a concept that favors heels and gives them an advantage that creates a lot of heat. It's not that faces can't win and cash in, but historically cashing in the contract has favored heels more than faces, or specifically resulted in a face turning on more than one occasion. The fact is that it's just better and a better concept when a top heel is holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, which is why Kevin Owens is said to be the favorite to walk out of this year's Money in the Bank. I know you guys are proclaiming Dean Ambrose should win it because you guys want to see the triple threat between Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins. But there are rumors that Reigns is legitimately going to hold the title up until at least SummerSlam. What happens after SummerSlam remains to be seen, but Kevin Owens right now is my favorite. If Kevin Owens doesn't win and Bray Wyatt is somehow injected into this match, it's going to be very interesting, man. You're going to have that Owens and Wyatt dynamic, and either one of those guys can win it. I think out of everybody, honestly, Bray Wyatt is deserving of it, and Bray Wyatt needs it the most after what he's been through with the WWE and WWE Creative, and just the way his character has just been so up and down, stop and go fucking pushes, man. You got to give this guy a break. And hopefully him being out rejuvenated him. Hopefully him being out, WWE came up with some fucking good ideas and plans and solid ideas for this guy upon his return. So that's my thought on that. The most popular choice, obviously, like I said, would be Dean Ambrose or Cesaro. Admittedly, the Lunatic Fringe has been knocking on the WWE title door for quite some time now, and Cesaro getting Money in the Bank would be a really good consolation prize for him to move to the next level after the recent Intercontinental Championship struggles. However, Kevin Owens is a top heel. He's arguably the biggest heel in the company right now for the past year, and he's just as capable to move into the world title picture as both of those two guys. He'd be a great opponent for Roman Reigns as well if WWE wants to line up another opponent for Roman Reigns. I'm going and I'm sticking with Kevin Owens right now just because of his work ethic and the report that came out last weekend that Vince McMahon is incredibly high on Kevin Owens. I honestly think he is the one to go with. All right, I don't think Ambrose is going to get it. I think Ambrose is going to be a close second. Cesaro is going to be a close third. Other than that, I don't expect anybody else to win the briefcase. But you gotta wait till Monday Night Raw, man. There's one spot open, and we don't know what WWE is going to do. Who they give that spot to, it could be anybody, man. It could be a Wyatt, like I said. It could be a John Cena. So right now, with the way the field is laid out, Kevin Owens is the favorite. Kevin Owens is my pick. But we're gonna reserve judgment. We're gonna hold judgment until Monday when the WWE announces the final, combatant and the final participant for Money in the Bank. We do not know yet, but Owens right now is the favorite to win the briefcase. Vince McMahon reportedly real strong on not hiring Kurt Angle. This is a fucking mistake. Listen to this. It's been a decade since former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle has been seen on WWE television, and it doesn't look like we'll be seeing our Olympic hero return to the company that helped make him a star anytime soon. WWE is planning to do another brand extension this coming summer. And because of that, they're looking to hire talent from around the world to help the staff with both SmackDown and Raw, and superstars who are ready for the main roster. However, it looks like Kurt Angle isn't on WWE's radar. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon is real strong on not hiring Kurt Angle due to Angle's history of substance abuse, even though the former WWE champ has been clean and has stayed out of trouble for over 2 years. Quote, it's doubtful that WWE will bring back Kurt Angle. Vince is real strong on not hiring him, and he's got his reasons. He feels if something bad happens to Kurt, it'll really hurt the company's image because of his status as a gold medalist and a real sports figure. And then people will start asking questions, and then they'll have sponsor issues as well. But if Kurt isn't under their watch and something happens, then they will be fine. Vince McMahon has decided to bring back ex-WWE stars with troubled personal lives in the past, but he only decided to bring them back after they cleaned up their lives. As such, the door isn't completely closed on Kurt Angle. Angle is no longer part of Impact Wrestling, better known as TNA, and he's not currently under contract with anyone else at the moment, so he could go back to WWE if they offered him a deal. But as of this writing and this report from Meltzer, that has not happened. There aren't very many examples of someone who has left WWE that wasn't allowed to return. Even people who left the company under worse circumstances than Angle were allowed to return to the company at some point for either a Hall of Fame induction, one last match, or both. So Angle has gone on record to say that he would be honored if WWE ever decided to induct him into the Hall of Fame. But with Vince McMahon being so adamant about not bringing him back, it doesn't look like the Olympic gold medalist will be going into the company's Hall of Fame anytime soon. If Angle does end up going into the WWE Hall of Fame, it would make sense for his induction to happen in 2018 when Angle possibly goes in when WrestleMania goes to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as Angle is a Pennsylvania native, hailing from Pittsburgh. Like that with everybody else who left the WWE, it's only a matter of time before Angle is brought back into the company in some capacity. There does seem to be a good amount of fan interest in a possible Kurt Angle WWE return. Most are hoping for an Angle retirement match if he returns, but due to Angle's injury history, it doesn't seem likely that WWE will allow him to step into the ring one last time. Of course, Angle does want to have at least one more WrestleMania match, and he's named Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins as the guys he'd love to face. Angle has also said that he'd like to form a new Team Angle with NXT Tag Team Champions Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, also known as American Alpha. It's a great idea on paper, but will it ever happen? That is up to Vince McMahon. It's been a decade since Angle left, and Vince hasn't changed his mind on bringing him back, but you can never say never in the world of professional wrestling, and there's a good chance that we'll be seeing Angle back in the WWE at some point in the future. You know, being that the brand split is happening, and the way Kurt Angle is so up and down with everything, man. He wants to take time off, and then he's doing fucking UFC, he's in MMA, he's fucking teasing about getting in the octagon, and he wants to wrestle, and he wants to fucking do this, he's talking about Hall of Fame. You know, he immediately said that as soon as he left TNA, he was done for at least a year, okay? He was done for at least a year. Now Angle's saying he wants to fucking start a new Team Angle with American Alpha. He wants to be in the Hall of Fame. He wants one more WrestleMania match. He's listing Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins as fucking, you know, guys that he wants to go one-on-one with. With the brand split, it would be absolutely phenomenal to have Angle have one last match, man. Bring him in, and you're not even one match. I think the guy's good to go for several matches if you want. Give him the fucking Brock Lesnar treatment. He doesn't need to be on the road. He doesn't need to be full-time. You know, WWE's going to have a careful watch over what he's doing. If WWE could stand behind Jake the Snake and fucking Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and X-Pac and allow those guys back into the WWE and allow them in the Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle will be back in the WWE in some way, shape, or form. I had the idea of John Cena winning the United States Championship and him holding the U.S. Open Challenge, and you bring it on into SummerSlam in Brooklyn, and there's no opponent announced for John Cena. He's conducting a U.S. Open Challenge, as he always does, and at SummerSlam in Brooklyn, Barclays Center, Angle's music hits, and Kurt Angle challenges John Cena on behalf of SmackDown for the United States Championship. Just like days of old, man. That would be Goosebump City, bro. Unfucking believable. Vince McMahon, not really strong on bringing back Kurt Angle. This is a fucking mistake. Vince McMahon is losing money. Vince McMahon is denying the fans of something fucking epic happening with Kurt Angle. Angle's home is the WWE, and I am shocked. Vince McMahon is reportedly, now that's a key word here, reportedly not strong on hiring Kurt Angle back. As far as I know, Vince McMahon is all about money. Vince McMahon wants to find each and every fucking possible way to make money for the WWE. Why would you not want to bring Kurt Angle back and make yourself fucking money? Why wouldn't you think Kurt Angle could be a good reason that the ratings see a slight increase? Angle is still money. Angle still has some gas left in the tank. Bringing him back is an absolute win-win situation for the WWE and all the fans watching the fucking product, especially with a brand split. If you don't bring him back, you're leaving money on the table. You're denying fans of seeing fucking matches that we are thirsty for, even in 2016. Cena, Rollins, Reigns, Lesnar, Rusev, you know, Sami Zayn, Cesaro. Angle versus Cesaro. Can you imagine all the fucking matches that you can have with Kurt Angle? Are you out of your fucking mind? Kurt Angle versus Kevin Owens? Kurt Angle versus Bray Wyatt? Dude, it's a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer here. Angle will be back in the WWE. When? I don't know. You know how WWE is with the Hall of Fame? I don't know if it's going to be 2018. I don't know. I really don't. But not bringing in Kurt Angle is a huge fucking mistake and a huge money-wasting opportunity. Angle will be back. When? I don't know, but he will be back. Mark my words. And finally, guys, to end this week's part 4. I could go with part 5, but I'm saving the rest of this fucking news for episode 120 on Friday. I don't want to go too long here. You guys, you know, you got to understand. Quality over quantity, okay? You're lucky I'm doing a fucking part 4. I could have saved all this shit for next week, all right? But to end this week's Off the Script, part 4, 119, first time ever, women's Money in the Bank? I don't know, man. Let's talk about it. On Money in the Bank, the next big pay-per-view, WWE is going to be holding its Money in the Bank briefcase match, which is one of the most exciting matches of the year. Superstars attempt to climb the ladder and grab the briefcase that holds an opportunity to get a WWE World Heavyweight Championship opportunity anytime they choose within the next 12 months. Rumor has it, for the first time ever, we could see a match take place at this pay-per-view, which would involve the women going after a contract for the Women's Championship. Now, it's never been done before, but it's quite possible that a title shot at the Women's Championship will be hanging high above the ring at the next big event. According to the Wrestling Observer, there have already been discussions within WWE for this match to happen later this month. It appears as if WWE officials have started looking at the benefits and negative aspects of a Money in the Bank ladder match involving women. But will it happen? We're going to go over those because they're not listed here, okay? I got some concerns. After Charlotte defeated Natalya and retained her title at Extreme Rules, many wondered who would step up and take her on. No new program began on Monday Night Raw as she simply cemented her partnership with Dana Brooke and shunned her father, Ric Flair, as recapped by the WWE website. With a rather large and budding women's division, it could be difficult for WWE to pick one worthy superstar as the next contender. If this match were to happen, it would end up having at least 6 women superstars in it, and possibly 8. WWE may want to have lesser number of women in this match for the first ever Money in the Bank women's ladder match, but details aren't really known as of right now. That being said, it isn't really known which women would take part in the match either. As of right now, WWE has a very good crop of women on the main roster, and it's a shame that Emma just went out with injury, and she just had surgery, as she would surely be in this match if she was 100% healthy. There are a few others on the NXT roster that would be great in a women's ladder match, but out of those on the current roster, here is who WWE can choose from. Alicia Fox, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Dana Brooke, Eva Marie, please get the fuck off my TV, Lana, Natalya, Paige, Naomi, and Summer Rae, okay? Now, Brie Bella is essentially retired. Nikki Bella is still out due to injury. Bayley could end up being brought up to the main roster before Money in the Bank, but I doubt that's happening. She is going to remain in NXT, and she's getting one more match with Asuka before she comes up. That's going to happen at NXT Brooklyn, okay? If they want to do that, they're more than welcome to do that, to give the match some star power for a ladder match. There is one name that could be perfect for that match, but she has been missing in action for a bit now, and that is Sasha Banks. She has been seen very little since WrestleMania 32, and it was originally said that she was being held off TV for storyline purposes. There were reports going around this weekend that she was indeed injured. She did have a concussion. Vince McMahon now stating that she is injury prone and that it's a Daniel Bryan-like situation, which is completely fucking bullshit. And it's quite significant and could force her to miss a good deal of time, but she was cleared to come back over this weekend's live WWE events, so she is back on tour with the brand. If that's the case, her presence will surely be missed, but she is back. Okay, if WWE does go ahead with a women's Money in the Bank ladder match, the Wrestling Observer is stating that while this match has been discussed, it's not expected to happen this year, as it just may not be the right time for it yet. Money in the Bank is going to be a huge event, and there are going to be a number of big matches, including the ladder match with the male superstars. Now, if the rumors end up being true, there also will be a ladder match for a shot at the Women's Championship, and that could be a sign of the next title holder. Charlotte will have to watch her back, as everyone will be gunning for her and hoping to capture the potential briefcase. I am actually in favor of doing this. Once the division is stable and has enough bodies to handle this type of match. If WWE wants to pull this off, 6 is the maximum, but there are major concerns, okay? I don't see the WWE having the Women's Championship high above, just as high above the ring as they do for the men. They might have to lower it a little for the women, okay? You're not going to have a ladder match that represents what the men do on the women's side of things, because the women will be more prone to injury. You don't want to fucking decimate half your roster in a ladder match, and then you have no division at all, okay? I don't think it's happening this year, and the reason is because, you know, Paige was out for an extended period of time. Sasha Banks has been on and off the DL. Emma is hurt. You know, there's not really anybody else that could really fit into that match. I mean, they mentioned Alicia Fox. She's decent. Becky, she's great. Dana Brooke, she's too new. Eva Marie, get the fuck off my TV. Lana, Natalya, Naomi, Summer Rae. I don't think this year is the right time for the Money in the Bank. Next year, when you have more women on the main roster and you have an Emma back from injury and you have a Bailey on the roster full time and you have just a complete division compared to what it's looking like now, that's when it'll be right to do it. I'm not saying that they should never do it. I just don't think that this year is the right time. Injuries will happen. Can you imagine 6 women bumping around with fucking ladders, diving off ladders, throwing ladders at one another, doing all the spots that the guys do with ladders? You know, that's fucking scary shit, man. You know, the women, you know, no matter how great that they are, they're not built like the men are. There will be injuries. And injuries are more likely with the women in a ladder match, you know, compared to the men. And I'm not taking anything away from the women. I want to see this. They should have every fucking opportunity to be as equal to the men as humanly possible. But right now, the way the roster is, if you go into this match and injure 2 or 3 women, you're not going to have a fucking women's division, period. So there has to be cautions. There has to be, you know, aspects of the match that could mirror what the men do, but not exactly. Like I said, the one glaring thing that I see is you can't have the fucking title held high above the ring like you do for the men, man. It's got to be lowered a little bit. The ladder's got to be, you know, on a smaller scale compared to what the men use. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but you got to make sure that you're putting the safety first of your women. You know, you don't want them to be hurt. But I like it. I think it would really go over well. It would add some credibility to the women's division. And they deserve every opportunity to mirror what the men do. If the men are having a ladder match for a fucking briefcase, the women should be doing the same thing. But when the roster is more full, when the roster is more robust, and you could potentially, you know, risk having this match happen and maybe 1 or 2 women are out for a few weeks banged up, you know. You don't need no broken legs. You don't need fucking Sasha Banks going in here, you know, after she just came off injury, off the DL, you know, serving injury with a concussion, and then you want to throw her right into a ladder match. That's not going to fucking happen, man. Not really going to happen. And you're not going to have one of these types of matches without the boss, Sasha Banks, in the match. So, right now is not the time. WWE can be patient with this. Ideas are being thrown around. Next year, all hands on deck. Green light it. Good to go. 2017, I think we'll see the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match at the pay-per-view. But that is all I got this weekend, guys. Part 4. Again, I apologize for the cut commentaries. My cat wants to be a fucking bitch. And she wants to fucking threaten to pee and shit all over my fucking bedroom floor. Not having it, because I don't want to clean up. I want to fucking edit this, go to sleep, and go to work in the morning. That's all I want to do. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for the continued love and support all weekend long. Off the Script is truly on fire. And like I said, this is the #1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on YouTube.com. If you don't already know that, man, I don't know what to fucking tell you. If you do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, at JD from NY206. Patreon, you got WrestleCrate, Barbershop Window, and everything else that I did all week long down in the description. And one final time, thank you to Horse60, brother. So much, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do for this channel and what you did for Off the Script this weekend. Enjoy your Memorial Day, guys. I'm out of here. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all tonight from Monday Night Raw review. What is in the fucking hatch? That's another thing before I go. Everybody's asking me, what the fuck is in the hatch? If I got 2 guesses. Number 1, it's either the return of Bray Wyatt with Sister Abigail, or it's something incredibly fucking cheesy for John Cena. Those are my 2 logical guesses. Everybody's saying that this is going to be unveiled on Monday Night Raw. Whatever the case may be, man, I would like to see the return of Bray Wyatt. Who they get to play Sister Abigail, I have no fucking idea. I think that's completely idiotic. But we'll see on Monday Night Raw. We'll see what's going on with that. But Monday Night Raw review tonight. Until then, take care. And I'll see you guys later tonight, man. Enjoy.